All right, Shalom. It's gonna be a quick lesson. Got the beloved brother with me, the brother Mahar.
Shalom, shalom.
We gonna start this off and give honor, praise, and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Bahashem, Yahweh Shai,
Yahushai,
Wahara
Wahara.
Peace and salutations to the elect men, starting with the elders of GMS on down, who are pushing forth the will and doctrine of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, day by day, diligently pushing forth the will and doctrine of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, day by day. To all of you, we say Shalom. So, jumping straight into this, Spirit just had me in a meditation. You know what I'm saying? Sharing that with the brother. Just decided to do a quick lesson on it. But basically, the Lord want us to keep things simple while we doing His labor. And Jake make the mistake of trying to be like Esau in his world. And that's where he go off because he's not being his authentic self. He's not just being you, which is how the Lord made us to be and want us to be. Jake get to dabbling into things that's outside of his measure, outside of what he's able to be able to withstand, maintain, and sustain. And that ends up being his mistake. So starting it off with this scripture right here. This is Sirach chapter 3 and verse 23. It says, "Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are shewed unto thee than men understand." And something that literally just comes to mind right now. Like you even look at back in Genesis, the situation with Eve. More was shown unto her than she understood. And that led to us ultimately dying. Through her we all die. That's a great example of taking on more than what's needed. More than that's outside of your measure. So with us, we supposed to keep things plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? Not being stupid and ignorant, but keeping things balanced. Not doing too much, not doing too little. It's like the three bears and Goldilocks. You want it just right. You got a scripture?
Yeah, I got something real quick.
Con, you got to go ahead.
It is the book of Matthew, chapter 25. I'm going to start at verse 14. And the point that I want is in verse 15. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country." You know that man to be Yahweh Shai. And just to note, Yahweh Shai being who some people may ignorantly know as or call Jesus. Yahweh Shai is his true name. And he's this man that's traveling into a far country. Because right now he's away. But we await his return in faith, hoping that day to come, but humbly,
Okay.
because we know that day is going to be a crazy day. Again, the like the brother Pada, he said there's a coin that I'd rather say, horrific or heroic, horrific for many, but heroic for those who truly believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, who will be part of that strange salvation, ultimately get on those cherries. But moving forward, keeping it, precise, it says, "Who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods." So we all been given a portion, we all been given a measure, and we all supposed to stay within that portion and measure. And that's important because that's what the brother, pretty much was meditating on, like not overdoing something. Don't go beyond what the Lord has given you. Don't try to compete with Eve. It's his world. We not, in competition with him. We supposed to stay afloat, stay high as we can while we on this path we on, the straight gate, because we simply just trying to endure to the end. Though we know tribulation is to come, so it's a little bit less simple as it sounds, but, simply trying to stay afloat and endure all that comes our way into the end. But getting to the point, we all have goods given to us. These certain treasures that come in earthen vessels, talents, gifts, lots, and measures.
Right.
Verse 15 says, "And unto one he gave 5 talents." So to one man the Lord gave 5 talents, right? So he's giving men according to their abilities. So that's why we stay within those parameters. It says, to another two, to another two, and to another one, to every man according to his several abilities. So that's how the Lord works. That's how he dishes out, if you will, servants of talents, gifts, ultimately through the Spirit, to each man, because the Lord knows our measure. He don't want us to try to over exceed it and be above ourselves, or be below it and not do all that we've been given to do.
Right.
But just to finish up, it says, and delivered unto them his good. So the Lord, he's dividing, the talents evenly amongst who needs to have it. And we all have, simply put, a role that needs to be played perfectly. But you got it, Doc.
Yeah, kind. That's the Spirit. It's Sirach 37, the verse 27. It says, my son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. It says, for all things are not profitable for all men, neither have every soul pleasure in everything. Certain things that's upon Esau to deal with, because this is his world right now. You know what I'm saying? This not our world. And that's what Jake got to wake up and realize. This is not our world to be trying to get set up and established in. Like the brother said, we got treasures in earthen vessels. But nonetheless, we supposed to be laying up our treasures in the heavens.
Yep.
Though we got abilities that we able to occupy within the time that while we here. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to lay up all your eggs in one basket here. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the basket that you trying to lay your talents in.
Look, you not go ball hard in Esau's kingdom.
Exactly.
He not even gonna let you. And even if you think you are, even coming close, you more than, I ain't gonna say more than likely, you being used.
Yeah.
Because it's not our world.
The game rigged.
Yeah, the game is completely rigged. So, we seeing it happening with the celebrities, people who amassed, fortune in this world. You see how it ends for them.
I got a quick one. This is Luke 16:10. It says, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. It says, and he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. You see? So you being faithful in the small matters, like the Lord gonna give you that increase. You know what I'm saying? Like it say in 1 Corinthians 3:6, that's what it is, right? What is it? Apollo's water.
I planted, Apollo's water, but the Lord gave the increase. And that's just Lord Willie paraphrasing it correctly.
Yeah, kind.
But the point is, the Lord gave the increase.
Exactly.
And we do the works we was given the abilities to do, but ultimately we wait upon the Lord to increase us. Yeah, it says, fear thou not, for I am with thee. So the Lord, he says he's with us.
Right.
The Lord's not a man that he shall lie.
Kind.
So we believe that the Lord, he's working with us in his favor,
Mm-hmm.
It says, be not dismayed. So we're not supposed to be dismayed. Ultimately, we're not supposed to be overtaken by anything here. It says, for I am thy power, thy God. So the Lord said he's our power. He's ultimately what, increases us.
Kind.
He's guiding us. He's leading us. We got to have faith and trust in that. It says, I will strengthen thee. Yeah, I will help thee. Yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. So we know when we're simply stand within our parameters that we've been given,
Mm-hmm.
and doing the best of our abilities, and just keeping it simple and plain.
Right.
The Lord, he's going to give us that increase that we need when we need it, and not below or over the measure that we are able to use or do something forthwith.
And if I could add too, like you gotta be willing to admit where you at and deal with where you at. You know what I'm saying? We can't
Yeah, also,
be getting caught up in strong delusions, weak delusions, or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
no, I just want to add, just realize where you at. But you're right. You got it.
Yeah, no, beautifully said. Like you got to realize where you at, acknowledge that, and deal with it. Deal with where you at. Because if you try to deal outside of where you at, you're not gonna be able to do nothing. You're not gonna be able to gain nothing to you for real. Because you're not dealing with the foundation. The foundation is exactly where you at. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you looking outside of where your feet at, how can you expect to move forward? You're going to trip and fall if you're not looking at where you stepping.
Yeah, so you got to be built up, and when increase come, understand it takes more. you know.
Kind.
The more you giving, you know, the more you're gonna be required. That's in the book
That's the
of
spirit. That's Luke. That's
12.
Luke 12:48. That's the spirit. That's like that's when I've been having in my head like all day. Much is given, much is required. You know.
Yep. So when you at a point where you know able to, you know, be in a position just to like, I ain't gonna say coast because we're not trying to just coast, but you know just get there and stay afloat, like enjoy it. Because when the Lord increase you, you'll be required more. But you know we're not looking to go backwards either. Again, we keeping it simple within the parameters of our abilities, and you know continuing in that and being like the brother said, okay with that, being reserved within that, because that's a sound mind.
Yep.
You know, we not swayed to and fro, tossed to and fro with every wayward doctrine and this and that. We like, nah, we on a straight gate. Something comes in front of us, it's an obstacle. We got to go through it. But yeah, we stay right here on this path. But
yeah, kind. Really, that's the point proven, because there's so many other scriptures that you could pull, to add to this point. But that Lord willing, you able to see it. You just want to make sure that you able to realize where you at, or realize where you at specifically, or realize the world that you in. Because you not realizing either one of those things. Right, one you have to realize both, one with the other, just like how we gotta have it in the spirit as well as in the flesh. You gotta know how you dealing and where you dealing at, understanding you as the player and understanding the game that you playing. That way you able to maneuver how you need to, because we not operating on Esau time, we operate on the Lord time. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, before anything else, So that's why we want to make sure that we dealing how we need to. Like I say, Matthew 10:16, we end it here. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Right? We the sheep. We not operating like wolves. But it says, be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Keeping things simple, keeping things godly, righteous, how the Lord wants us to.
But we got levels,
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's that wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Understanding the mind that's controlling the system, so that way you know how to stay out of trouble, but you can still keep everything that you need. Have your daily bread. You know what I'm saying? Have your roof over the head. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that you and your house is taken care of. Just plain and simple like that. So that's pretty much it. Lord willing, this has been edifying. With that, give all and praise and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Till next time, shalom.
Shalom.